not like the truth, but I'll never tell a lie. Oh, you guessed it. 12 months ago, it was a Ukrainian flag. 9 months ago, a Palestinian flag. 6 months ago, a Mexican flag. A month ago, Venezuela flag. And today, you guessed it, right on cue, the circus is back in town.
Trigger warning, but Donald Trump children. Donald Trump used his fingers to measure a genitals. Donald Trump got a pregnant and then her child in front of her.
Ah, Billy! The mushrooms!
That man said when we said death to America, we meant death to Trump. Okay, what you need? 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue.
What country you from? What ain't no country I ever heard of? They speak English and what?
He got a place in Florida too if you want to look there. Sometimes he be at McDonald's. Call a bitch up. You need airfare? A Uber? Cabs? Like, you know, what's your fancy?
Before I go in, I want to address what we learned today. Donald Trump has dragged us into a war the American people do not want. He has put America...
I pay attention to people and I see the foolishness that's happening. What is wrong with the liberals telling people who's actually from somewhere where something is happening, they're telling them how to feel, how to think, and how to be? How does that even make sense? Right now, we're about to react to liberal lefties losing their mind while people from Iran beg to differ. You have Americans out here protesting while the Iranians are jumping for joy. Of course, you're going to have some that is upset with the outcome. Let's react to this together. Make sure, go in the comments. Let me know your favorite clip. I go on TikTok and I also go on X and I gather them up together so that we can have fun. Let's go.
What did I say? What did I say? I said that these people who were out there begging the United States and the occupational colony to attack Iran, to protect women.
I don't understand where you guys want to take this with Gaza and Hamas and the Islamic Republic of Iran. Neither of you have lived under the Islamic Republic tyranny that you guys are talking about the death of one single woman that have came in front of an ICE agent, a police. And you guys are talking about, you guys have human rights. You guys have everything that you need in your life. We have been taken, our lives have been taken away from us.
We're bullshitting you. We're manufacturing consent to bomb Iran.
Trump has dragged us into a war the American people do not want. He has put American troops in harm's way. I unequivocally oppose this war of choice, and
no
everyone
war that we
should.
Want. What is she talking about?
And the bottom line, when it comes down to it, is that if we want to stop Donald Trump with this random decision that he has arrived at, then Congress must act, and Congress must act immediately. The American people do not want our sons and daughters to go into this unauthorized war of choice, and I unequivocally oppose
Even if it was authorized, they don't want them to go.
Every single person who was out here lamenting about the IRCG instead of calling attention to the actual existential crisis in the region and in the entire globe, which is Zionism, you participated in manufacturing consent for the bombing of a little girls' school in Iran, because yes, girls can go to school in Iran. And you know, the United States and Israel wanted to protect them so hard that they bombed them, murdering between 50 and 80 little girls.
I told you, CNN is fake news. Don't talk to me.
The Iranian schools. Have y'all learned nothing about the propaganda war? The United States nor Israel did not send a missile at an elementary school in Iran. What happened was the Islamic regime has one of their bases next to a grade school, and when they tried to send one of their ghetto missiles, it failed and it landed on that school. So of course, they took a page out of Hamas's playbook because they wrote it and they called out a false flag and made it seem like it was America and Israel who attacked them. You can literally see the trajectory of that missile and how it landed back on the school. If you want to know what's actually happening in Iran, talk to the Persians, talk to the Iranians, talk to these different people, and they will tell you that they are so happy that President Trump is fighting to get the regime out of Iran.
Do you see now? Do you see now that invasion and military intervention is not part of liberatory policy? You do not liberate people by bombing the fuck out of them.
Nobody knows the system better than me.
You do not liberate women and girls by them. And honestly, the West the Epstein class of people that are controlling all of our military and all of this foreign intervention, really out here claiming that they care about women and girls. And this is why I said keep your mouth shut. That's why I said keep your mouth shut. If you're an American, you don't need to be out here lamenting about what the United States needs to do in Iran. You needed to shut your mouth.
I finally had the chance to FaceTime with my cousin in Iran, and she asked me to share this message with the world, especially you, diaspora, so please listen to the full video. For those who don't know, 95% of my family still lives in Iran. My mother's side is Mashhadi. She told me this, that every single person she knows has lost someone close to them. In Mashhad, bodies were piled in the streets, wrapped like black garbage bags, the way trash lines city sidewalks in New York. She said her mother's apartment building had bodies reaching all the way up to her doorstep. Someone we know was shot multiple times in the leg. He couldn't go to the hospital to seek medical help. People are terrified to go because they're killing them. So their family pooled nearly $2,000 to pay for a private doctor to come to their house so he wouldn't lose his leg. Most people can't even afford that. They're afraid to go seek help. They're getting infections and they're slowly dying in their homes. Phone lines, as we know, are being monitored. So families are writing messages on paper and holding them up to the camera when they can FaceTime. Wow. She said the internet is turned on briefly as an act of surveillance to track and hunt protesters. She says what's happening is just unimaginable. People are being killed so easily. My mother also spoke to a female family member of ours in Tehran today, and she said, we're fine, but we were all beaten. They beat the shit out of all of us. That viral video of a woman being kicked in the head that's been going around, that's just one leaked clip of what's happening every single day. Most stores are closed except for basic necessities. Prices were already inflated. She says they've tripled in the last 2 weeks. Many Gen Z Iranians rely on online businesses, importing and exporting goods from Turkey and Dubai. She says no one's been able to make money this year. People have nothing left. And despite all of this grief, despite all of this, she said something else to me. She said, don't cry. Negaran nabash. Don't worry. Omidvar bash. Don't lose hope. She said hope, omid, is all we have left. And if the diaspora gives up hope, cosmically it's putting negative energy and darkness into the world. She said people want intervention because without it we will die. We are watching a real life Handmaid's Tale. The numbers coming out daily keep increasing in the tens of thousands who have been murdered. This is devastating. This is a massacre. And if this becomes normalized in Iran, if we look away, it won't stop there. It will spread. So please keep speaking up. Please keep putting pressure on world leaders to act now. She said, Aziz kheli az dast dadim. We've lost a lot of loved ones, and the only way they will ever find peace in their hearts again is if this regime is gone. And she also said this too. When they do manage to get a few moments online and they see all of your messages and voices, they feel less lonely. And that gives them hope.
Yeah, I heard they shut their internet
Donald
off.
Trump, children.
Oh, here go the lunatic.
Donald Trump used his fingers to measure a genitals. Donald Trump
she get
got
this information
pregnant and then her child in front of her.
Her eyes are too far apart. I think that's
That is the reason why we're going to war with Iran.
Wait a minute. Who are you?
Not because of nuclear weapons, not because of missiles, not because of the bombing of an embassy that happened 47 or whatever, however many years ago. We are attacking Iran because the Epstein files showed us that Israel is using blackmail against world leaders in order to become a superpower. It's fun to stay at the YMCA. Congress approves wars. So be clear.
We all know the Epstein files
now
what they were doing.
That the entire media apparatus has been bought by one family, the one family that donates a whole lot of money to the Israeli occupation forces, understand that we are going to war with Iran because Donald Trump children, because other high-ranking officials in the U.S. government children. And instead of being held accountable for children, they would rather more innocent people.
Take
Well,
that
it looks
bonnet
like
off
everyone
next
in the
time you do
United
a
States
live,
just
all right?
woke up to a surprise war that Trump started in the middle of the night with Iran. And Trump's first strike, of course, partnered with Netanyahu. They went with their signature move of absolutely demolishing an elementary school full of little girls. And they 36 children. And of course, obviously none of this was Congress approved, as the law is not within Trump's comfort zone.
I see they beg to differ. You know, there's a kind of look for liberals, and she got that look. The other girl just had the ring, but she got the look. I believe all liberals at this point, they just single, miserable people.
He did this all by himself. And Trump is also framing this to be liberation for the Iranian people.
Y'all, these Democrats don't make sense. I've only ever been a Democrat, okay? Okay? I've only ever been a Democrat, but at some point, my prefrontal cortex completed its development. I lived enough life. I made enough observations. I had enough lived experience. And I've experienced the government and its systems enough to know that things around here are not making sense.
Definitely
Proud
not.
to be woke, proud to be a liberal, proud to be a Democrat. Hell yeah. What does that mean? That means that I care about everybody. That means I care about the USA. That means I care about our air. That means I care about our parks, our oceans. That means I care about what is going on. That doesn't mean that I am a MAGA, which is a racist Republican. There is a complete difference. You can be a Republican.
Carly's mommy has a disease called addiction.
And just so we are clear and there's no confusion, today's Fresh Hell is sponsored by Ego. And none of this would be happening had you all elected that black woman.
You need to get to go and need to be able to get where you need to go to do the work and get home. The significance of the passage of time, right? The significance of the passage of time. So when you think about it, there is great significance to the passage of time.
Well, I think culture is, it is a reflection of our moment and our time, right? And
love that time.
And present culture is the way we express how we're feeling about the moment. And we should always find times to express how we feel about the moment that is a reflection of joy, because, you know, it comes in the morning.
Hey, whoa, what are you talking about?
Thank you all very much.
No. You wanted to bait her race and ethnicity. No. You didn't like her laugh. No. You didn't like her stance on Gaza. How are you feeling right about now? Because I can assure you, you could have put a one-legged giraffe named Jerome in that White House, and we still wouldn't end up where we are now. And this man is making unfounded statements that Iran has interfered in the 2020 election. Talk about can't let something go. Honey, we are in 2026. But he doesn't know that because he's dealing with
he stole the election right now.
President Biden, something the special counsel said.
You heard what she said, that he's dealing with dementia that he can't admit. But when we see Biden doing what he was doing, no one batted an eye, right?
In his report is that one of the reasons you were not charged is because, in his description, you are a well-meaning elderly man with a poor memory.
I'm well-meaning, and I'm an elderly man, and I know what the hell I'm doing. I've been president. I put this country back on its feet. I don't need his recommendation. It's
How
totally
bad is your memory, and can you continue as president?
My memory is so bad I let you speak. That's
your memory has gotten worse, Mr. President?
My memory is not good. My memory is fine. My memory, take a look at what I've done since I become president. None of you thought I could pass any of the things I got passed. How'd that happen? You know, I guess I just forgot what was going on.
Donald Trump is taking the United States into war on his own with no authorization from Congress.
On his own.
He is willing to sacrifice American lives for what? For regime change? For a war that the president's own top military advisor has warned will be
know y'all don't know how the
incredibly
government
dangerous?
works. That's why they
For
play
a
with
war
words.
built on lies? For a war that won't make us safer? I want to be clear. The United States had a deal that could have prevented Iran from getting a nuclear weapon. That
Check
was
this next
Obama's
clip.
nuclear
Watch.
deal with Iran.
That if Iran lives up to its commitments, it will
paid
gain
them.
access to roughly $56 billion of its own money. But the notion that this will be a game changer, with all this money funneled into Iran's pernicious activities,
And Trump blew that deal up and got nothing.
Obama left office, he sent $1.7 billion in cash to Iran. The money was delivered in actual cash, stacked on pallets and flown into the country. It happened in January 2016 when Obama authorized the transfer of the money to the nation known for sponsoring terrorism.
Nothing in return. And now he's starting another war in the Middle East instead of doing the hard work of diplomacy.
And Iran, make sure y'all do some meditation, breath work, and prayer before you shoot your shot. All right? You bet not miss this time, because I don't understand how they got CK so clean right here, but they didn't wait for the perfect shot when it came to Donald Trump. They missed by the ear. Like the ear, like you see how close the earlobe is to my like brain? What do I know?
There are people that will land on all sides of this conflict and what should be happening or shouldn't be happening. But the one thing that I want to remind the American people of is that we have a Constitution. And frankly, as members of Congress, we swore an oath to the Constitution as well as the president. And right now, what we are clearly witnessing is lawlessness yet again from this administration. And my question to my colleagues in a very serious way is, will you put aside your loyalty to this orange man?
That's kind of racist to say. I don't know. When they call him an orange man, if it was the other way around, nah, I mean, listen, we got to call a spade a spade. A fraud is a fraud. And what she's doing, she loved to play with words.
And actually focus on your loyalty and your oath to the Constitution, which says that only Congress has the power to declare war. It is time to rein him in a bipartisan way. Listen, Thomas Massie and Ro Khanna have been working together quite often on bipartisan legislation, including the Epstein files. And so they do have a war powers resolution that they have been working on together. And I do know that Ro Khanna has made it clear that he wants to bring that to the floor on Monday. My question to Speaker Johnson is, how many people are going to have to die because this president just decided that he was going to do whatever he wanted to and to ignore our congressional authority and our congressional powers? I don't think that we should wait till Monday. And this is being said as someone who literally has an election on Tuesday.
Well, there you see it, right? Do you see the hypocrisy? Why are Americans who never been to a third world country or let alone leave the country have an audacity to tell you how things are working over there? And even if they visited any of these countries, 9 times out of 10, they were at a tourist trap. Let's be serious. You never left the resort to see how things really are. You never experienced what the people actually experience. You're just there for a quick stay and you're out. So no, stop telling people how to feel and what they should be doing. Allow the people who are coming from these situations to deal with it how they want to deal with it. Liberals, you should be ashamed of yourself. If I had a whistle, I'll blow it right now. Pause. Because y'all going crazy. What's your favorite slogan? Shame, shame. Hey, I'll catch you guys on the next one. Like, comment, share, subscribe to the channel.